Welcome. My name is Sareet. Taylor, I usually teach at Oviedo Y, and I will be offering you about a 45-minute gentle yoga practice today. So hopefully you can stick with some routine at home. Certainly we could all use a little more peace right now, I'm sure. So see if you can give yourself permission to use this time to just focus on your breath, focus on your body, and use your practice as an opportunity to quiet your mind. That's really what our yoga is all about anyway. We could probably all benefit from a little of that. And of course, exercise being one of our best anti-anxiety natural remedies. So the more you can stick with your routine, the better. All you really need is your mat. If you have a strap and you want to use one for some of our seated stretches, that's fine. If you don't, a towel or even if you have a men's tie floating around works really nicely. Feel free to make any adjustments to your practice that feel right to you. If a pose is bothersome to you for whatever reason, but not in a good way, like a good stretch, but uncomfortable, then come on out of it. Come back to a seated position, come back to child's pose, whatever feels best for you. We'll go ahead and start in Sukhasan or easy sitting pose. If your knees are tight, you can always walk your legs a little bit further out if that's more comfortable. Or if you are accustomed to using a block and like to sit kind of the back half of your booty on the block to help kind of rotate your hips forward, you can do that. Let the hands rest to the knees or the lap, whatever feels best for you. Come roll the shoulders up toward the ears on an inhale, draw them down on the exhale. Inhale, roll them on up. Exhale, draw them on down. And just once more, roll the shoulders up toward the ears, draw them down onto the back. Let the chin tuck slightly, let the eyes close. Take a minute to focus in on your breath. Inhale through the nose, fill the belly, fill the chest with air. Exhale through mouth and nose, feeling the chest drop and the belly relax back down. Inhaling from the bottom up, exhaling from the top down. Inhaling through the nose ideally, and exhaling through mouth and nose. Allow your breath to be the most important part of your practice. So if you find yourself not breathing comfortably or steadily in any pose for whatever reason, allow yourself to come back to something gentle, gentler at any rate, to give you the opportunity to reconnect with that steady, comfortable breath, and then rejoin us when you're ready. As you're ready, you can let the eyes open, sitting tall, drawing the tailbone down, not letting the back arch. Let the hands just come to the knees, and we'll make some little circles, kind of rolling toward that right shoulder, lifting the chin, arching forward a little bit, and rounding on back, your range of motion. So sort of toward a little baby seated cow, if you like, and then a cat leaning back. Limbering up the back and hips. Taking another circle this direction, and then go ahead and reverse that. Breathing here. Taking that nice circle, feeling some loosening in the low back and the hips. And one more circle this direction. And come sit tall, drawing the shoulders down. Inhale, come lift on up, relaxing the shoulders, reaching through the rib cage. Just let the right fingers come down. Take the left hand to the head, keeping the shoulders down. Gently pull down toward that left shoulder and maybe slide the fingers back and forth a little bit with your breath, feeling some stretch on the side of the neck. Most of us have a tendency to carry tension in the neck, so might as well give it some release. Give it another breath here. Steady the fingers or plant the palm. Come lift up through that left hand. Take a little side stretch here, keeping that shoulder down. Both hips stay on your mat, stretching the side of the body, lifting the gaze. And come lift on up. Just slide the fingers behind the head, taking the opposite hand to the knee. Take a little twist, gently we're bringing the gaze toward that back shoulder. Inhale, come on back to center. Lift on up again, shoulders stay down, reaching through the rib cage. Just set the left fingers down, right hand to the outside of the head. Dropping the shoulders, gently pull down, releasing the neck. Option, just kind of slide the fingers back and forth to get a little more stretch in the neck if you like. With your breath. One more. And then just keep the fingers there or plant the palm, either way. Sit tall, reaching through that right arm. Drop the left shoulder, taking that side stretch. Breathe here. Keeping both hips down. Inhale, come lift up. Take the left fingers behind you, not too far back. Right hand to the outside of the knee. Taking that gentle twist, bring the gaze toward that back shoulder. Inhale, come on back to center. Lift on up once more. Go ahead and set the palms down. Rock up onto your hands and knees. So I'll turn sideways here, finding that tabletop position. So hips above knees, shoulders above wrists, fingers spread wide, gripping a little bit with the fingertips. If you prefer to make fists, that's fine. Just tuck the thumbs, right? So we're not putting a lot of pressure on those fingers. Otherwise, spread fingers wide, grip with the fingertips, and we'll take a little cat and cow here. Inhale, arching the back, let the belly drop. Relax the shoulders, lift the gaze. Exhale, round up, push the mat away from you, tuck the chin. Inhale, arching here, relax the shoulders, lifting the gaze. Exhale, round on up. Inhale, arching. Exhale, rounding. One more like this. Inhale, arching. Exhale, rounding. Now, come back to that inhale, that cat once more. On your round, curl the toes under, lift the hips up just a little bit, putting a little weight in the hands, so we're kind of moving toward a downward dog. Inhale, let the knees come back down. Arch back into your cat. Exhale, let the chin tuck, round up, curl the toes under, lift up kind of halfway once more, letting the knees stay bent. And then last time, bring the knees back down softly, lift back into that cat, the cow rather. And then on your exhale, round up, curl the toes under. This time we begin to straighten out those legs, lifting the hips, shifting the body weight back toward that downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let the chin gently tuck, pedal out the legs, spread the fingers wide. Remember, as usual, that downward dog really is meant to be a resting pose, a comfortable pose. So if you are not happy here, you can always come to child's pose, and we'll go there shortly anyway. If you like, inhale, come high up on the toes, feeling that height in the hips, lengthening, and then lower the heels back down. Inhale, lift up once more, and kind of imagining keeping that height in the hips. Lower the heels back down. You'll feel a little bit more release in the back of the body. And then go ahead and let the knees come down. Bring them wide. Come sit back in those hips, big toes together, knees apart. Let the crown of the head or a cheek rest for child's pose or balasana. If you want to roll out the wrist just a little bit here, go right ahead. Breathing. Remember, this is your resting pose, and you're always welcome to come here whenever it feels right for you. Come rock back up onto the hands and knees. So, we're going to come onto the forearms for just a moment and take a little forearm plank to warm up the core, keeping it zipped up. You can stay on the knees like so. So you want your hands right about shoulder width apart. Don't let the elbows get too far apart. That's harder in the shoulders. Planting the palms or clasping the hands up to you. Shoulders right above the elbows. You can stay here or walk the knees a little bit further away, then shifting the hips forward a bit so the shoulders are above the elbows. Or if you feel comfortable, coming onto the toes, drawing the tailbone down, pressing the heels back, pressing down into the forearms for 3 breaths. Breathing 3, relax the neck, kind of looking toward the hands. Breathing 2, knees are fine too, remember. 1 more good breath. And on your exhale, if you're in a full plank, you can try Dolphin Pose, kind of like a forearm downward dog, tucking the chin. Or if that's not comfortable, come onto the knees, shift back here. Either way is fine. Give it another breath. And if you're up in Dolphin, go ahead and let the knees come down. Shift back here, maybe let the crown of the head rest if you like. Let the hands rest back toward the heels for a breath or 2. As you're ready, come look forward, walk the hands forward, and we'll make our way into thread the needle. So same child's pose on the knees, let the big toes be kind of near each other. Just plant the palms, keep the left palm down. Open that right arm toward the side, open up. And then on your exhale, just slide it through, resting the shoulder and cheek. You can kind of walk the left fingers out, or if you like, open the arm toward the ceiling, or take it behind the back. Walking the fingers for the top of the opposite hip, opening up the shoulders. Breathe here. Inhale, kind of unwind, bring both palms down, lift up through the chest. Open that left arm wide toward the side of the room and slide the arm through. Resting the shoulder and cheek. You can walk that right palm forward some, keeping it here, or open it toward the ceiling, keeping that shoulder open, or take it behind the back. Whatever feels best for you. Breathing here. And come on back to center. Good. So, walk the hands a little bit further away from you, right? If you were tabletop, walk them about a hand length or so away. And then come curl the toes under once more. Lift the hips. Shift back toward your downward facing dog. Pedal out the legs a little bit if you like. And then we'll lift the right leg just for a moment. Now if that feels like too much, go ahead and set the left knee down, like so, or just lift the leg here. Either way, bend the knee, rotate that hip open, maybe make some hip and or ankle circles. That feels good. And then let that foot come back down, or if you're on the knees, bring the knee back down. Drop the shoulders, kind of letting the chest rest back toward the thighs. Come lift that left leg. Same thing, bend the knee, open up the hip. Maybe roll out the ankle and or the hip. Give it a breath or two here, dropping that left shoulder. And release. Whether you're on the knees or on the toes, just walk your way forward toward Uttanasana, or standing forward bend. Hang here a moment. Go ahead and soften the knees. Take the hands to the elbows. Just gently pull down, rock it out a little bit. Breathe. And then slowly roll on up as you're ready. If you like, you can always bring the hands to the waist or low back if that's more comfortable. Roll out the shoulders, twist or shake out what you like. Of course, feel free to get water anytime. And we'll move through a few sun breaths to build a little bit of heat here. Now, for those of you who like a more intermediate practice and want to turn them into sun salutations, that's fine. For the purposes of a gentle class, I stick with sun breaths for the most part. So, feet about hip distance apart, draw the tailbone down. Arms can be by your sides, palms facing out, or hands to heart center, up to you. Finding your mountain pose or Tadasana. You can rock up and back on the feet a little bit, spread the toes wide, finding that stable foundation. Find your breath. Inhale, lift up. Take a gentle arch here, kind of lifting up out of the ribcage so we're not collapsing at the hips. Exhale, fold or swan dive forward. Hands rest to the legs or the mat, wherever you reach. If you have a block at home you want to rest the hands on, that's fine too. Inhale, lift up halfway. Draw the belly away from the thighs. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, root down in those feet, come rise on up. And exhale, bring the hands back to heart center. We'll move through that a couple more times using the rhythm of your breath. Inhale, lift up, little arch. Exhale, fold forward, relax the head down. Inhale, lift up halfway, drop the shoulders, draw the belly away from the thighs. And exhale, fold back down. Inhale, root down to rise on up. And exhale, bring the hands back to heart center. One more just like that. Inhale, lift, little arch. Exhale, come fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold your way back down. Relax the head. You can shake it out a little bit if you like. Root down in those heels. Keep the core engaged to help you rise on up. And exhale, release. So we're going to add into that just a little bit, taking that sun breath sequence, adding a little standing windmill. So inhale, lift on up. Relax the shoulders. Exhale, come open that left arm behind you, palm up, keeping the feet planted. Take a little twist, looking toward that back shoulder. Inhale, come to center, shoulders relaxed. And exhale, open to the other side. Inhale, lift back to center, shoulders drop. Exhale, come swan dive your way forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, root down in those feet, come rise on up. We're gonna take that standing windmill again. So exhale, open that left arm behind you, keeping both feet planted, opening up the shoulders. Inhale, rotate to center. Exhale, open to the other side. Inhale, rotate to center. Exhale, come bring the hands into heart center and namaste. Walk the feet just a little bit further apart. Make sure they're at hip distance or a little bit more. On your exhale, we'll sink back into those hips for a little chair variation. So weight is back in the heels. You can just rest the hands to the thighs if you like, making sure there's no discomfort in the knees. You could even lift your toes if you want to check that. And then let the right forearm rest to the right thigh. Just slide the left hand up onto the low back. Option to stay here, sitting back on those heels, not letting that left knee rock inward, or open up if you like. Or take the arm behind the back for a deeper twist. Lifting the gaze toward that top shoulder. Stay low in those hips as much as you can. Inhale, rotate to center. Let that left forearm rest. Peel your way open. You can just slide the hand up to the low back here. Or open the arm, palm facing out. Or take the arm behind the back. Up to you. Breathe here, sitting back in those hips. And rotate to center. Weight is back in the heels. You can bring the palms into heart center once more. And exhale, fold here. Shake out the head, cuddle out the legs as you like. Breathe. And just take a moment in the forward bend. So you can hold the hand, let the hands rest to the legs. Again, if you have a block, you can rest that here. If you happen to be able to hook the big toes without strain, go right ahead. Inhale, lift up halfway, draw the belly away from the thighs. Exhale, take a little deeper forward bend. Relax the head, shake out what feels good to you. Breathe. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, either bring the hands to the waist or sweep the arms all the way up. And bring them into heart center. So we're going to practice stepping back into a little lunge. A little breath here. Hands can stay to heart center or by your side. Just lift the left knee. Test your balance and step on back. Now, chances are you'll carefully drop the back knee, relax the toes, but if you would rather stay in that low lunge, keep the hips low, press that heel back. So, right knee should be right above the ankle. Kind of press that left hip forward so you get the opening in the hip flexor. As you find your balance, lift on up, relax the shoulders out of the ears, finding that crescent pose. If you feel comfortable, lift the gaze here. Breathe. Pressing that left hip forward. On the next exhale, if you like, bend the elbows, kind of catch the arms, open up the chest a bit. Breathe. On the next inhale, come take the hands behind you. Clasp them here. If your shoulders are tight, you've got a towel or strap, grab it. Inhale, just a little arch. Exhale, let the belly fold over the thigh, looking toward that big toe. If you want to come up onto the back toes here, you can. That's certainly going to be more intense. So decide what feels best for you. Breathe. And let the hands come down. Curl the back toes under. Push off that back foot. Find your way back to that forward bend. Shake out the legs, shake out the head. Breathe here. Inhale, root down in those feet. Come rise on it. And exhale, bring the hands to heart center. And we'll just take that on the other side. So we kind of find the balance point. Palms can stay in or arms by your side, whatever works. Lift that left knee this time. Test your balance. I lied. Right foot. Whichever side you didn't do. Let's say that. So knee right above the ankle. You can stay here if you choose, or chances are come to the back knee, relax the toes, press the hip forward, knee right above the ankle. Find that balance point. Lift on up into your crescent pose. Relax the shoulders, lift the gaze if it's comfortable. Breathe here. And on that next exhale, just bend the elbows. Open up the chest a bit. Breathe. Next, inhale, take the hands behind you. Again, if you've got a strap or towel handy, go ahead and do that. Take a little arch, maybe lifting the gaze. Exhale, carefully fold the belly over the thigh, looking toward that left big toe. Relaxing the neck again, either stay here or come up on the toes if you feel stable. For sure, that's a lot more difficult. Breathe. Look slightly full. Give it another breath. And release the hands. Curl the back toes under. Push off that back foot. Make your way forward. Shake out the head, the legs, whatever feels good to you here. Root down in those feet. Come rise on up. And exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Good. Roll out, shake out what you like. You can either keep the palms in heart center or arms by your side or to the waist if that works. So here, we're going to find that mountain pose once more, or whatever arm variation you like. Lift the left knee. Send the foot back. So we're going to come into triangle or trikonasana here. 2 straight legs. So you're kind of pulling up on that thigh, making sure there's no discomfort behind that right knee. Extend the arms. Inhale, reach out over that straight right leg. Exhale, let the hand drop where it reaches without leaning forward. So keep the hip, the rib cage open. You can keep the left hand to the waist or open up, opening the palm. Lift the gaze if you're comfortable. Breathe here. Opening that hip, rib cage, shoulder. Press into the back edge of that back foot. Give it another breath here. And on your next inhale, carefully lift on up using the core. Exhale, take that left hand to the low back. We just flip the right palm up for a little gentle reverse warrior. Option to take a little bend into that right knee or keep it straight. Breathe. Breathe. Breathing 2. And lift on up again, shoulders relax. Shimmy the feet a little bit wider to have room for warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, sink into your warrior. So you want that right knee right above the ankle, pushing into the back edge of that back foot, shoulders relaxed, pushing into the outside of that right foot. Option to turn the palms up and down if that helps relax the shoulders. If you like to flow, you can inhale, straighten and lift. Exhale, sink back down a couple times, up to you. Ideally, your drishti or gaze point is over those front fingers. Breathe. So many of our standing poses are both work and release, strength and stretch. Working the legs, opening up the hips. If you're choosing to flow, let that be your last round. Breathe. And then on your inhale, take the left hand back to the low back or down the leg. Flip the right palm up, trying to stay in that right knee bend a little bit this time. A little deeper, reverse warrior. Breathe. Inhale, lift on up. And exhale, just bring the hands to the waist. We're going to turn the left toes toward the side of your mat. Push into that right heel. So feet are a little bit narrower than they just were for that wide-legged forward bend, so we can come right into a left-sided triangle, right? 2 straight legs. So if you need a little bit narrower stance, go ahead and do that. Keep that core engaged. Inhale, reach out over that straight left leg. Exhale, let the hand drop where it reaches. Open up that right hip, rib cage, shoulder. Open the palm. If it's comfortable, lift the gaze. Energy through those fingers. Breathe. So we kind of learn to work on getting comfortable in poses that at first glance would seem uncomfortable, right? Working to build some comfort in our breath. Kind of using that as metaphor. Good deep breath in. Use the core to lift you on up. Exhale, take that right hand to the low back. Inhale, flip that left palm up for your reverse warrior. Option to keep a straight left leg or just a soft bend here. Lift the gaze. Breathe. Inhale, lift on up. Exhale, shimmy the feet a little bit wider again so we have room for that deep knee bend in warrior 2. On your exhale, push into the outside edge of that left foot. Sink into the hips, finding Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Drawing that tailbone down. Again, if it helps to relax the shoulders, to turn the palms up and down, go for it. If you like to flow, you can inhale, straighten and lift. Exhale, sink back into your warrior. Up to you. Or just hold it, either way. Breathe. If you're choosing to flow, let this be your last one. Sink into your warrior. Inhale, take the right hand back to the low back or down the leg if that's comfortable. Flip that left palm up, keeping that left knee bend if possible for a little deeper reverse warrior. Breathe here. One more breath. And come lift on up. Come bring the hands to the waist or low back, turning all 10 toes back toward the long end of your mat. Feet are parallel for Sareet. Inhale, come bring the arms wide. Exhale, clasp the hands behind you here. Again, using a towel or a strap if you like. Inhale, take a gentle arch, holding onto the core and the quads here. And exhale, kind of push into the outsides of the feet as you fold. Let the chin tuck. Let the head relax here. Let gravity kind of help you open up the chest and shoulders. Breathe. One more good breath. Inhale, carefully lift on up. Keep the gaze steady as you come on. Roll the shoulders open, roll out the wrist if you like. Come give yourself a good squeeze, opening the upper back. Tuck the chin. You can shimmy the feet in a little bit here if they're pretty wide. Inhale, just kind of open up for that 5-pointed star position. Exhale, give yourself a squeeze again, other arm on top. Tucking the chin, gently opening the upper back and the neck. Inhale, open. Exhale, just bring the hands back to the waist. Turn the right toes back toward the front of your mat. Push off that back foot. Find your way back to your mountain pose. All right, we're gonna come on down to seated. Let's try to do so without crashing. So, see if you can begin to bend the knees, bring the arms forward. Now, you can bring the hands to the mat anytime you choose. If you feel comfortable lifting the heels, forgive my crackling knees, toward a little balanced chair, you can try that. You know, a little bit of a balance. Maybe bringing the palms in, maybe bringing them up, arms out. Give it another breath, and then with or without your hands to help you, come sit. Shake out those legs a little bit, and then bring the legs up. So, I'm just going to do a little bit of a boat here today. See if you can lift the toes, dropping the shoulders, keeping the body weight kind of back toward your sit bones. You can hold the legs, or bring the hands to the mat if that's a bit easier. If you want a little bit more, lift the shins toward parallel. If you're feeling adventurous, release the arms out. Breathing 5. Breathing 4. You can always come back to a gentler option. 3. Breathing 2. And that'll do. Hug the knees in. Open up, bring the soles of the feet together for bound angle or Baddha Konasana. If you like, take the hands behind you first. Arch the back a little bit to stretch the belly. Maybe rock the knees a bit if that feels good to you. And then come sit tall. Bring the hands to the soles of the feet. Gently prying them apart. Relax the shoulders, fold here. Let the chin tuck. Feel free to rock. Just don't pulse or flap the legs. Breathe and release. Opening up the inner thighs, the low back. Inhale, come sit tall, rolling shoulders open. Maybe clasp the hands around the feet and kind of lean back till the elbows begin to straighten. Let the back round, tuck the chin. We should get some more release in the upper back and the neck here. If you want, you can rock. That might really feel nice. And then come on back to center when you're ready. Release the legs. Roll out, shake out what you like. Go ahead and bring that right leg in, and then bring the sole of the foot toward the inner thigh for head to knee pose or Janu Sirsasana. So we're rotating the belly toward that straight leg. If your hip or knee are really tight, then just walk the foot a little forward, like especially if the knee's popping up high, or you can always pop a pillow under your knee. Square the belly toward that straight leg here. If you want to use a strap or towel, you can. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, come fold over that straight leg. Relax the shoulder down. Breathe. If you like, walk the hands toward the outside of the leg. Feel a little more stretch in the mid-back that way. Inhale, come sit tall. Go ahead and draw that knee up. and then cross it over, right? So you feel a little more stretch in that glute. Take that same arm, which should be right arm behind you, keeping that other foot flexed, hug the knee, or draw the arm across, keeping both hips down, finding a little twist. Breathe. Inhale, come on back to center. Roll out, shake out what you like. Come bring that left knee in. Foot toward the inner thigh. Again, square the belly toward the straight leg, flexing the foot for head to knee pose. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, come fold. Again, you can walk if you like. The hand toward the outside of the leg, relaxing that left shoulder down. Fold here. See if you can use your breath to gently take you deeper into a stretch. Not force or pulse it, but maybe see if each exhale just kind of gives you a little bit more room. Give it another breath here. And then slowly come sit tall. Draw that left knee up, bringing the foot across, feeling a little stretch in that outer thigh and glute, keeping that right foot flexed. Come take that left hand behind you close to the hip so that you're sitting tall, not leaning back. Take the opposite arm toward the knee to either hug or draw across, bringing the gaze toward that back shoulder, and breathe here. Ardha Matsyendrasana, or half spinal twist. Inhale, come on back to center, uncross, roll out, shake out, whatever. Come bring the legs long, flexing the feet, finding a way into Dandasana or staff pose. Roll the shoulders open. Still the waters here. Inhale, lift on up. Exhale, come fold. Relax the head and shoulders down. Breathe here. If you'd like to rock a little bit, feel free. If you like to cross the forearms and then walk the hands toward the outside of the legs to get a little more upper back stretch, you're welcome to do that as well. Let the head relax down. Breathe, releasing the whole back of the body. Inhale, come sit tall. Come walk the hands behind the hips, pointing the fingers toward them. So we'll do a little reverse table for a counter pose and also a little bit of back work. If it is not comfortable for you, gentle option, keep the hips on the mat, point the toes, just press into the palms. Take a little arch here, and that'll be enough. If you're comfortable, walk the feet in, plant them firmly, about hip distance apart. Good deep breath and press into the palms, lift the hips, gently lift the gaze, being kind to your neck. Breathing 3. Breathing 2. Keep the hips high. If they're collapsing, come back to that seated option. One more breath. And then slowly lower. Let the elbows soften. Hug the knees in. Roll out the wrists some if you like. And then begin to roll your way onto the back. So you can rock back or side to side a few times if you like. Maybe make little circles. Massage out the spine. So, as you're ready, plant the left foot. Take that right leg, cross the ankle above, opening wide in a figure 4 position. So we get some stretch in the glutes. So keep the knee wide. You can either stay right here, or for a little more stretch, lift the left leg. Hug under the hamstring. You can kind of use your elbow or hand to push that knee a little more away from you to keep, to deepen that stretch. Keep the head down though. You're welcome to roll out ankles if that feels good. Breathing here. Good release for the muscles that tend to squeeze the sciatic nerve when they're tight. Breathing here. As you're ready, come let that left foot come down. Lift the right leg. So we're going to open here. If you have a taller strap to wrap around your foot, this is a nice place for one. Just keep that left hand either to that thigh or bring the arm wide. Then we're going to begin to open the right leg out. You want to keep both shoulders, both hips on the mat, okay? If you reach for your foot, fine, you can wrap a strap around it, or just rest your right upper arm and kind of drop your leg into your hand like a cradle. So you get that nice opening in the inner thigh and the hamstring without having to strain. For a deeper stretch, look over the opposite hand. Settle into it, give it another breath. And then just lift that leg up to center, cross the right knee over the left. Let both knees drop over to the other side, keeping the shoulder down. Last little twist. Inhale, come roll onto the back. Plant the opposite foot, should be your right. Lift the left leg, cross the ankle over, opening the knee wide in this number 4 position, right? Figure 4 stretch. So either keep the foot down, you can kind of push the knee away from you if you like, or a little deeper, lift that right foot, hug under the hamstring. Keep the head relaxed down. Breathe. Settle into your breath. See if you can imagine sending those exhales to those areas of the body that need a little more release. Not forcing, just seeing if the breath gives, each exhale gives a little more room. Give it another breath. And then just let that foot come down. Come extend the left leg, keeping the low back on the mat. Again, hold on to the leg wherever you reach. Just begin to open it to the side. Once more, if you like, you can just kind of set that forearm down and drop the leg and the hand wherever you reach, or use a towel or a strap for the foot if you have one. Breathe. Keep both hips down. Next, inhale, bring that leg up. Just cross the knee over the opposite one. Let both knees drop to the other side, keeping the shoulder down. Bringing out the spine once more, releasing low back a little bit. Breathe. Inhale, come roll onto the back, draw the knees in, and then let's just take a few breaths in Sleeping Tiger or Happy Baby. So if you have a wall hand nearby and you want to come bring your hips up against the wall and take legs up the wall, you can do that. Otherwise, just keep the low back on the mat, soft knees. Lift the arms comfortably so those shoulder blades are still resting on the mat. You can close the eyes. Just hang here for your inversion. Or if you prefer, hold on to the legs, bring them wide, take Happy Baby. Either way, just a few breaths in whatever inversion suits you. Settle into it. You can always come out of this earlier if you prefer. Just a couple more breaths. And go ahead and hug the knees in. Maybe rock side to side or make little circles. And then come settle into your Shavasana or relaxation pose for a moment or two. So traditionally that's on the back, legs wide, feet open, arms wide, palms up. However, if you're more comfortable, you can always bring the feet together and recline bound ankle, or bend one knee, or roll onto your side, whatever feels best for you. A position that allows you to be comfortable and still. Make sure the low back is rested on the mat. Let the eyes close. Give yourself a moment to just be still and soak up your practice. Take a good deep breath in. Fill the belly. Fill the chest with air. Hold it. Open the mouth, side on out. Inhale, fill on up. Hold. Exhale, let it go. Imagining you can send that breath out through the toes and beyond. Once more. Inhale, fill the belly, fill the chest, hold it, kind of soak up whatever good stuff you notice in your practice. And exhale, let go of everything else that just doesn't serve you. Give yourself permission to release all that and just be still. Good deep breath in. Let it all go. Wiggle fingers, toes. Make whatever little movements bring your awareness back to the room. Hopefully notice whatever feels good in your body or the quiet space in your head that I hope you've cultivated so that you can consciously take it into your day, into your week. When you're ready, you can draw the knees in. Stretch long behind the head if you'd like. Maybe hug the knees in. Roll onto one side for a moment. Give yourself a moment there. And then use the hands to help make your way to a comfortable seated position. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully we'll be able to meet live sooner rather than later. Until then, I hope you can enjoy your practice and get some use out of it while we make our way through this time. Namaste.